We have about a 450 acre farm, and we raise 100 acres of corn and roughly 100 acres of wheat and about 80 acres of clover, and you're standing in our 60 acres of orchard grass. And we tried to grow peas, and we had cattle, so we just have a variety of different crops we grow. Well, I think the role that these products will play in the fertilizer and the agriculture is cost and the usage of what we're putting on the ground, and we're not going to have buildup of phosphates in our soils that we don't want, and we will be using all of the nitrogen and not be losing it with the winter rains. So I think it will play a big role in agriculture. We saw a benefit in reduced costs and a benefit again in using our crops, actually using more of the products that we're putting out there, and we're not building that up in our soils and stuff. And we're always looking for ways to improve those costs that we put in fertilizers. Last year we saw what we saw as a benefit out of using AVAIL is we were our crop was able to take and use all of the phosphate and not have the buildup, and our yields were still as good or better than they were before. NutriSphere we actually even used on this crop this year, and this is 50 acres of orchard grass, and we used it on our 30 acres of fall wheat this year already, and we plan on using it in our 70 or 80 acres of spring wheat. The benefits that we see from using NutriSphere is that we can put on the product, we can put it on at one application because it will stay there for the crop to use, and we won't have to go back and do it again, and we're cutting our rates back of the amount of product we're applying to the field. The results we saw last year on our NutriSphere wasn't, we just started using it. We were reducing our fertilizer. We didn't see any reduction in our yields. So this year we're doing it again, and we'll see what it. So far we've been seeing the even fertilizer take up in the crop so far. So we're excited that we won't have to spend as much money on fertilizer. Hey, you're going to save money. Your plants are going to uptake the proper nutrients, and you're not going to have that over winter wash away of a lot of the nitrogens and the phosphates, and it's something they ought to try. It's a new technology that we ought to take advantage of, and if anything that we can make our bottom line look better is something we ought to be looking at, and anything that can make the environment better for all of us, I think that's what people ought to be looking at, and go out and try this stuff. It really works.